Hello Pisces, this is your October forecast for 2016 and we're looking at the astrology for the month. And right now as we start off we have the Sun and Jupiter in your 8th house. Now this has to do with all the emotional inner, I won't say entanglements, but depth. It's the house of Scorpio. So we're feeling intimate things are really important to us. Jupiter now has just moved into this area where it has been working in your 7th house for working with other people or working closely one-on-one with your partner, your significant other. So you have had a good time here to expand this area, and many of you might just have gotten married here this last year. But now when Jupiter is in this area till late next summer, this is going to allow you now to look at how you can grow your financial income, not necessarily from your day-to-day or month-to-month. That is more 2nd house issues. The 8th house is more bonuses and commissions and royalties, and some of you might just come to see how that is going to work for you. There could be other ways. It could be an insurance payout, it could be a lawsuit payout, whatever that might be, but Jupiter is doing and giving to you what it sees you deserve, right? So the Sun is here, it is in the sign of Libra, so we might find ourselves balancing a little bit, making certain decisions, maybe looking at mortgages and how we perhaps can consolidate a few things so you don't have all the extra expenses with interest and so forth. Jupiter can be good to you that way as well. Now we have Venus cruising through the sign of Scorpio at least till the 18th. And that is our emotional self, it's our romantic self, it's those things that we love. And in the fun sign of Sagittarius, you might just feel that much more bubbly and also shooting for a little bit more expansion as far as that goes. That's the 2nd half of the month. But now that you're going through Scorpio, you're going to sense and feel passion about those things that you believe in. 9th house is about our spirituality, religion, or a higher focus on life and those things. Some of you might be wanting to take a course or a class and expand your knack and know-how, your higher consciousness, as Scorpio wants to dig a little deeper into that knowledge base that you already have at hand. But it is also here preparing for what it's going to do here next month when we get into November. That Venus is going to tie up here with Saturn, but that is still not before the very end of here October. So it's preparing. Everything you're doing now throughout October is readying yourself for something that's going to take off in the career field there in your 10th house end of the month. So that should be exciting, because whatever that may be for you Pisces, not only is there an initiation and a sense of recognition for what you're doing, but it's more the longevity of it. Saturn always looks at the long term of things, and for you, that will be in your career field. So I see the steps that you're taking right now. It's all laying that foundation for what November is going to bring. Therefore, hence October is super important for you when you're wanting to move ahead now. Mars, on the other hand, is now cruising through Capricorn, and that's a good thing for you. Not only is Capricorn harmonious to your sign, but when Mars is in Capricorn, think about the mountain goats, right? They climb to the top. No matter what the challenge is, they can do it. This is you. You know you can do it this month. You've got the drive, you've got the knack and the know-how, and it's in your 11th house for your hopes and dreams. And that's what you're climbing to get right now to the highest point. Now, Mars is dedicated and focused when it's in Capricorn, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. That's going to give you the support and the groundedness to get there. And not only that, but Pluto is there, and the two of those will meet up here next month in November. So it's going to be a supersonic month in next month's forecast, but you're building towards it both with Venus now preparing for what it's going to do in your career towards the end of the month, and also what Mars is going to do here when we get into November. So pay attention. That's all it's taking us to be aware and know when the ship is at the hand, right? So we don't lose opportunities. We have the full moon of 15th this month for you. That's going to be illuminating the whole area of your financial situation. It's there alongside with Uranus, so Uranus can bring some unexpected news while it passes over there within those first few hours, that first 24-hour cycle, and that can bring an unexpected twist and turn of events. And hopefully here, I feel it's going to be really good. Why? Because it's picking up that energy from your career house by trine, which is great. So we have on the 7th, Mercury, which is going to be moving out of the prolonged stay that it has had in Virgo. For you, that's your 7th house. So you've been working with partners a little closer here in August, September, due to the delay of its retrograde motion. It gave you that extra time to figure out how to work or build a partnership. But then after the 7th, it moves into your 8th house where the Sun and Jupiter is. So now you're going to be looking more at the financial side of it, shared resources, commissions, bonuses, and so forth. And so that's going to be very important for the last 3 months of October. It's good to know where the energies are, right? Because then we can take advantage of it. And of course, if you look down here under this video, you'll see the Astro Weekly and the Tarot Weekly. You can easily access by clicking on them if you're on the monitor. If you're listening to this forecast on the phone, well, you can't as easily do that, but then you can just go to the description below this video and you'll find the link there. It will take you straight to it. So making it easy and accessible to you. Those Astro Weeklies include more of the moon, and I feel that it's so important because as we speak here, we talk about the new moon and the full moon, because the moon moves so quickly and generates tons and tons of aspects and transits that we can't cover it all in a monthly basis like here. But when we take it up week by week, I call it our emotional weather forecast because the moon rules our emotions and our moods, right? The waves go up and down. Are we going to have a good day or not as good a day tomorrow? The weekly will give you an indicator of it. Plus, of course, it will touch upon the major aspects too, but it's basically more to get that inner emotional reading. Anyhow, as we move right along here, Pisces, we're starting off the month with Venus and Neptune. Venus is love, it's romance, it's creativity, and Neptune is that higher aspect of Venus, so we can say that's more cosmic love. It's not just romance, but it's cosmic love. So it's a day and an evening where you're going to feel super inspired, and for all of those you who are artists, among you Pisces, you might just feel that you're channeling, just being the tool and the vessel, allowing beautiful music to be generated. Or if you're a painter, a sculptor, you might see how that is going to come, or writing, whatever your forte might be. But Venus and Neptune both will inspire you, so you want to capture it, right? On the 5th through the 7th, you might though feel that there could be an opportunity presented to you where you might have to jump to make some kind of decision, as if you don't say yes right away, you might fear that it might just disappear just as quickly. But then again, Jupiter wants to jump, Mars wants to jump, but then there's that little caution in the back of your mind saying, hey, don't go that quickly, don't move that quickly, because you might want to tweak something. But on the 11th, there is good news. You are centered, you're aligned, you know what you want, what you don't want. You're more apt to discuss and negotiate a better deal if you wait to the 11th than rather just jumping on it and saying yay. All right, and this is because Mercury and Jupiter, communication and expansion, opportunity, now is harmonized, and it's also showing the beginning of a new start. And Mars, your physical drive, your goal, and your mission is working with you on your side, being supported here from your hopes and dreams, which is Neptune. So we can see the 11th is a beautiful time. It's flowing straight through that of the 14th, where we have your drive, your fire, should I say, coming together, you're engaging in new situations. Mercury, you're communicating here. Mars and your communication is all aligned, prompted to start new beginnings. Mars is also aligning with Saturn, which I said, looking out for you, the long-term goals, where there's longevity in what it is you're trying to establish and build. And of course, this I see here is between your hopes and dreams, and it is your career, so we know that that should be really good. On the 25th, we might have a little disappointment coming in, and that has to do with Venus and Neptune. And Neptune is our hopes and dreams. You might have something that has been anticipated. Maybe somebody promised something and then they have to back out for whatever reason, but there's never any accidents in the universe. If something's being delayed or called off, it's for a reason. We just need to learn how to let go and let God, right? So that disappointment is not going to be lingering too long with you, because already on the 26th, we have Venus and Jupiter coming together, and that is just as good, if not even better. Think about the body of Jupiter and being so generous and giving. So I feel that it's going to make up for it, and so that will be just in passing that disappointment. Somebody might say something that can get your feelings hurt. That's also typical. Another expression of Venus and Neptune, that we're let down somehow. But you're going to have a smile on your face again here on the 26th, so you'll kiss and make up. On the 28th, though, I don't know. This is where we just got to use a little caution, because we have a lot of tension build up from Mars and Uranus. Now, when they're well aligned, we can accomplish a lot of things out of the blue, supersonic energy and speed to build whatever it is. But when they're squaring off on each other like here, well, then we can typically see that there's been a rise of friction, and at some point it's got to give, and then we have a slip, right? It's like the tectonic plates, I call it, for the earthquake watch. And it is because, literally said, the tectonic plates can shift and move. We've had a lot of tension build up here in September, in August, September, a lot of earthquakes taking place. And that's even without this aspect being accurate. But it is going to be accurate on the 28th, so let's just pay attention and watch. But not only is it Mother Earth having her tectonic plates, you and I both too. Our inner world, the whole world and everything in it, is under the extreme forces of these two planets creating that friction. So people might snap on this day. They might be short-tempered, their fuses like this, right? No patience or whatsoever. So be careful in traffic. We don't want, the crazy people out there just shifting lanes without blinking their lights, that kind of thing. But we can also see it in our electronics. Sometimes, every once in a while our electronics go a little haywire too. And that is too because Uranus rules all electronics, and Mars is all the mechanical stuff. So we can see how it can play out there as well. But on the 29th, I feel whatever you started a little earlier there in the month, especially there mid-month, you're feeling it now. It's becoming real to you, what you have achieved and what you're starting, and you're starting to see the larger picture of what it is now that you're going to be initiating for a full year to come. Okay, you've been preparing and you've been doing and all that, but now it's going to show. And that is when Venus conjuncts with Saturn in your 10th house for career. That is on the 29th. And so you're apt to see something come together here, and it's going to give you a good feeling that you're setting off for a whole new year in your career. Now, Mars too is, like I said, incrementing its way up towards Pluto. We'll have that conjunction there in November. That's our next reading. That should be pretty exciting because that's going to be triggering your hopes and dreams. So let's pay attention to what that forecast might be. But we're coming to the end of the month, and we have then, of course, the new moon there on the 30th. This new moon for you is in the 9th house, where you're wanting to expand your visions. Ninth house is all about higher education. It's foreign people and places. Maybe there's going to be a yearning, a longing to get out and about and take a travel, and if so, I feel that that is something that could really behoove you this month. And it's the time that we put down our intentions and the seeds we want to grow for between now and next year at this time. And that's us telling ourselves we would like to travel more, we would like to have more freedom. The ninth house is all about freedom too, right? So yes, let that be your passion there on the 30th. And then we have Halloween, and the moon here is beautifully lined up with Mars and Pluto. So I think the costumes that are going to win this year, they're definitely going to have that Mars-Pluto aspect to it, which is more the gory stuff, right? Not the airy-fairy of Venus and Neptune, like fairy godmothers that we can see certain years will be the theme or the trend. But this year it's going to be more blood and gore and monsters and so forth. Those are the ones that's going to go off with the first prize. So listen, Pisces, you can now go to your Astro Weekly. I will see you next month in November. So have a beautiful October. Bye now.